Welcome everyone to tonight's October 3rd, 2022 City Council meeting. Will now come to order. In compliance with the Open Meetings Act, Nebraska Revised Statute 84-1407, a current copy of this act is posted on the wall in this meeting room. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Bulkley.
Here.
Augustine Schulte.
Here.
Barr.
Here.
Hemer.
Here.
Jablonski. Here. Kreshaw.
Here.
Lohr.
Here.
Roth.
Here.
Schilling.
Here.
Mayor Bulkley, the roll has been called.
Thank you.
Our Father, thank you for the opportunity to serve our fellow citizens. Please give us your wisdom and guidance to make the proper decisions entrusted to this governmental body. May our conduct show respect, honor, and courtesy to each other, as well as to all our citizens. Amen. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and I welcome everyone to tonight's meeting. If at any time during this meeting anyone would like to come forward and address the council on any item on our agenda, we'd ask that you please come forward and give your name and address, and we'd ask that you keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. With that, we'll go on to the consent agenda.
Item 4, consent agenda. The following items are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a City Council member or citizen so requests, in which event the item will be removed from consent status and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Item 4A, minutes of the September 19th, 2022 budget hearing. Item 4B, minutes of the September 19th, 2022 City Council meeting. Item 4C, payroll and bills on file. Item 4D, reappointment of Dick Tooley, Barbara Duffy, and Mary Neffler to the Downtown Business Improvement Board for 3-year terms. Item 4E, reappointment of Jean Knapp, Bonnie McPhillips, and Larry Winter to the Senior Center Advisory Board for 3-year terms. Item 4H, resolution number R22-120, amending the agreement with Adam Labordi for Geographical Information System Services to revise the start date to October 1st, 2022, with completion date of September 30th, 2023. Mr. Mayor and Council, is there anything you'd like removed from consent?
Mr. Mayor, the items on the I move that the items on the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to a special presentation. I have a proclamation tonight that I would read and then present to Mr. Stephen Lowry, who is in the audience with us. I'd ask him after I read this, you could come forward and take the proclamation. Whereas intellectual disabilities affect 1 out of every 10 families in America and over 50,000 Nebraskans, and whereas quality of life is important to all citizens of our city, including children and adults with intellectual disabilities, And whereas the Knights of Columbus is a charitable and fraternal organization that promotes the dignity and welfare of citizens with intellectual disabilities. Now, therefore, I, James B. Bulkley, the mayor of the City of Columbus, Nebraska, do hereby proclaim the week of October 13th through 16th, 2022, as Support Citizens with Intellectual Disabilities Week in the City of Columbus, Nebraska, and encourage all citizens to take due notice of the observance. With that, Stephen Lowry, the State Knight of Columbus Intellectual Disabilities Director, is here. And Stephen, if you'd like to come forward, I'd give you this, and if you'd want to make any comments, you'd be welcome to. Please do.
First off, thank you for signing this for us and recognizing this event. Every year we do hold our annual drive for our campaign for people with intellectual disabilities. It's in the middle of October. It's formerly been known as that Tootsie Roll Drive, so you've probably seen members in the community handing those out and taking donations. I represent today 27,000 plus members of the Knights of Columbus, over 160 councils across the state. And we take all the money that we raise and we donate that back to nonprofits serving intellectual disabilities across the state of Nebraska, from the Omaha to the Scottsbluff area, McCook up to South Sioux City. In this area, we work with the Arc of Platte County, Mosaic, and North Star Services. It's been a pleasure to do this. Last year, we were able to take $175,000 from donations and put those back into the organization's hands. We've given about 95% of that back. We're just waiting for the request from the others for the 5% as we start to get ready for our drive this year. We hope to see that go up. If you see people in the community handing those Tootsie Rolls out or other campaign drives, please participate in those and know that that money goes to great organizations. Again, thank you.
Appreciate it. Stephen, would you give your address? Do you need that, or are you okay? No, we're good. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we move on to public hearings.
Item 7A, public hearing, application of J&C Avenue Bar LLC doing business as J&C Avenue Bar for a retail Class C liquor license at 1061 26th Avenue.
Is there anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing?
Hi, my name is Joe Simonton. This is Christine Robinson. We are the new owners of J&C Avenue. We've put our heart and soul into this project that we're on, and we're standing before you asking that you please let us get our liquor license. It'll help us out tremendously. We're a small business. It's just a cafe right now, and it's taking everything that we can make to just make it work.
They sold this 2017 Dodge Ram to get us opened in this place.
No?
We have colorful backgrounds, we know. We've both had some problems in the past, but that's the past, and this is our future. I'll be retiring in about 9 years, and this is more of her dream, which I've worked hard for her. We just, I really don't know what else to say other than, you know, we ask for your leniency in our past and let us move forward.
Any questions for our guests?
Mr. Mayor, I move the public hearing be closed and a recommendation be made to the Nebraska Liquor Control Commission to approve the application of J&C Avenue Bar.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 7A1. Thank you. Item 7A1, application of J&C Avenue Bar for Christine L. Robinson as manager in conjunction with the liquor license.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the application of J&C Avenue Bar for Christine L. Robinson as manager be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. There you go. Good luck. Motion passes.
Good luck.
Brings us up to new business.
Item 13A, application of Center for Survivors for special designated liquor license at 3205 12th Street from 5:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. on October 28th, 2022 for a fundraiser.
Mr. Mayor, I move that Application of Center for Survivors for a special designated liquor license at 3205 12th Street be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to,
Do I need the date? I was gonna
Pardon?
say, I was just asking if I needed the date in the, or the, never mind, it's okay.
we have a motion and a second to approve the special designated liquor license. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13B, appointment of Joshua Johnson to the Downtown Business Improvement Board for a 3-year term.
Council members, with your permission, the mayor would like to submit Joshua Johnson for the appointment of the Business Improvement Board for a 3-year term. Joshua Johnson graduated from Columbus SCOTUS and holds a degree in business administration with an emphasis in management and a minor in history from the University of Nebraska at Lincoln. He currently serves as Vice President of Consumer Banking at Columbus Bank and Trust Company. Joshua is extremely passionate about and heavily involved in his community. He currently serves as a board member of the Platte County Ag Society, a finance committee member for the Columbus Area Chamber of Commerce, and as an advisor for the Columbus Area Future Fund. Joshua also serves as vice president of the Columbus Area United Way Board and as chair for Envisioning Columbus, a collaboration with Nebraska Extension and Rural Prosperity of Nebraska. Can we please have a motion to ratify this appointment?
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13C, appointment of Lindsay Thompson to the Downtown Business Improvement Board for a 3-year term.
The mayor would like to submit to you for an appointment Lindsay Thompson to the Business Improvement Board for a 3-year term. Lindsay Thompson is the owner of Soul Photography, located in a historical building in downtown Columbus. She was born in Columbus and holds multiple trade certificates in the areas of health and well-being. Lindsay has a passionate, creative spirit focused on entrepreneurship and collaboration with other small business owners. Her hobbies include traveling, hiking, art, sports, animals, and fitness. Lindsay states, "I welcome the opportunity to serve on the Business Improvement Board for Columbus and offer a fresh perspective on improvements ranging from cosmetic and sensory to collaboration and marketing. I feel my contribution to the conversation and projects will be colorful, bold, innovative, and unifying. I would be honored to be a part of the team." Council members, we need a motion to approve this.
So move. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this nomination. Any appointment? Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13D, appointment of Larry O'Neill to the Library Board to fill an unexpired term of Catherine Lopez.
Council members, with your permission, the mayor would like to submit the name of Larry O'Neill to our library board for the unexpired term of Catherine Lopez until September of 2023. Larry O'Neill has been retired for 7 years following his employment as a vice president at First Nebraska Bank in Columbus. He has 40 years of banking experience, including finance and law, as well as delivering excellent customer service. Larry has served in leadership positions for several organizations in Columbus, including the Saratoga Club, Jaycees, SHAG, and Knights of Columbus. He has also served on community boards for SCOTUS, Prairie Hills Girl Scouts, Columbus Big Brothers and Sisters, Columbus Red Cross, and more. Personally, Larry uses the library to read numerous books and access research materials. His deep love of reading spurs his desire to see the Columbus Public Library continue to offer a wide variety of reading services. In addition, he is committed to making sure that the library remains a resource center for all people of Columbus that encourages curiosity and discovery for all ages. Larry believes that it is important for our library to be on the forefront of modern technology to attract and serve people with varied interests. Gentlemen, we need a motion to ratify this appointment.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to ratify this appointment. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13E, appointment of Santiago Velasquez as the police sergeant.
So I was going to say, since I didn't have this, he's an awesome guy, so let's just vote him in, right? But now that we have this, I guess I'll read this instead.
He'd probably be happy with that.
With your permission, the mayor would like to submit the name of Santiago Velasquez for appointment to the police sergeant position. Per council rules, we will waive the 2-week waiting period for his appointment to police sergeant. Officer Santiago Velasquez is a graduate of Schuyler Central High School and earned his bachelor's degree in general studies with a major in criminal justice from the University of Nebraska, Omaha. He served in the United States Marine Corps from 2006 to 2010 and obtained an honorable discharge. Officer Velasquez is a 9-year veteran with the Columbus Police Department and is currently assigned as a canine handler. He performs the duties of a uniformed officer with the Patrol Division and conducts drug investigations. He is a certified police service dog handler instructor through the state of Nebraska and is a field training officer for the Columbus Police Department. These qualifications have given him the opportunity to become a resource for new officers and to increase his experience in a supervisory role. Prior to his position with the City of Columbus, he was employed as a corrections corporal with the Nebraska Department of Corrections at the Nebraska Correctional Youth Facility, a maximum, medium, and minimum security facility for youthful offenders. And he's an awesome guy. So, all right, we need a motion to ratify this appointment, please.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion?
Anything different with the dog situation, or does that continue on?
Now, that's a good question. I think it needs to be addressed and make sure the public understands what we're doing.
Chuck Scheer, Police Chief, Columbus Police Department. This was something that we had to sit down and talk with Officer Velasquez about before he tested and accepted the position as to what he wanted to do with the dog and whether or not he would be able to continue that handling position. And what we came up with was we didn't want him to be the dog handler to be a diminishing factor in being promoted. In other words, we weren't going to promote him just because he was a canine officer. So what we've decided to do is to let him keep the dog and keep the dog on his assigned duty shift as a police sergeant until such time as we get somebody recruited and trained to transition the dog to that new handler. Now, Santiago's got a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this program. It's the reason that it's been as successful as it has is because of all his time and dedication to both his position and to the dog to make sure it got off on the right track. He wants to make sure that continues. So as part of his supervisory duty, when he gets promoted to sergeant, a new handler gets promoted, or a new handler gets assigned and trained, he's going to be in charge of the overall canine operation program in the department. And if and when we ever decide to grow the department, he'll be an integral part of that as well, and picking out the dog and choosing a new handler and being involved with all that training as well. So all the time and effort we've put into him is not going to go to waste. In fact, I hope that we can put it to better use.
Awesome.
And so it's his envision to grow the program as well as it is mine. And when in time, that's right for the city, we hope to be able to do that. And he's going to be an integral part of that. But right now, the big question for us is who do we get to take his position? They've got big shoes to fill. And he's going to be involved in that selection process to make sure we get the right person. Because the success of the canine program all comes down to the abilities of the handler. If the handler is not going to be as dedicated and as committed to the program as he was, it's probably not going to be as good. So he's going to make sure that we get the right person in there and that they're trained properly to take over.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Did I answer all your questions about the program, about the dog?
Chief, the next handler will be an intern, or internal officer already?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now we're going to be hiring, and if we do hire people that have that interest, they could also apply. Now we have a caveat: they've got to be an officer for 3 years. But if they're already certified someplace and have 3 years experience, that would satisfy that.
Okay.
But we're not going to take a rookie and put him in that position. I think it requires more than that. So they're going to have 3 years of experience.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Any other questions? If not, we have a motion and a second to move forward with this appointment. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Sergeant Santiago Velasquez, would you like to come forward?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm very thankful to be in this position. I have been serving the city of Columbus for the last 9 years. Also very grateful to my family for their continued support. And I'm very excited to start and continue to work for the community in this new role and this new opportunity. So again, thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thanks for your service.
All right.
Item 13F, quotes from APCO and Telecom for emergency medical dispatch software and Central Square for interface license for a total amount of $51,502.31 for the Joint Communications Center.
Mr. Mayor, I move the quotes from APCO and Telecom for emergency medical dispatch software and Central Square for interface license be accepted.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to accept the quote from APCO in Telecom. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Oh, I'm sorry, did I miss?
This is budgeted, is this part?
It is a budgeted item.
All right, any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13G, comments from the mayor and city council members. In compliance with the Open Meetings Act, no discussion may be held on this item.
Any comments from council members this evening?
I just have
Yes, ma'am.
just one thing to share. My granddaughter lives in Elkhorn. I went to pick her up on Thursday, and the first thing she said is, "Can we go see your library when we get to Columbus?" And when we got there, then the next thing she said was, "Look at the big library that you're building, and I can't wait to go visit that." So I was thinking that's pretty cool, coming from a 5-year-old from another town. So kudos to our library and all the people who work there. She loves it there. So thanks.
Very good. Any other comments this evening? I have nothing. We'll move on to resolutions.
Item 14A, resolution number R22-117, setting the property tax request at $6,366,005.08.
Mr. Mayor, move for the adoption of resolution number R22-117.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution R22-117. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 14B, resolution number R22-121, approving the lease agreement with Columbus Area Children's Museum Incorporated for space in the community building for 5% of the annual gross revenue, not to exceed $3,916.56 per month.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of resolution number R22-121.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution R22-121. Any discussion?
It can also be anything less than, it's going to be 5%.
Or less.
But so we could make $50.
If it starts out slow, that could be the case. That's why we wrote it the way it was. We didn't want it to be detrimental to their operation, especially in this first initial term.
And the first year is free.
The first 12 months, yes, this would be effective after.
Okay.
First 12 months.
All right, any other discussion?
Creative policy writing.
Well, I think for everybody's benefit, it's important that the Children's Museum is given the opportunity to start off on the right foot. And this is a relatively short lease term, so in not too much time, we'll be revisiting this.
And
2 years plus 3 options.
Correct.
Okay.
any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 14C, resolution number R22-122, approving the updated drug and alcohol testing policy for Columbus area transit.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of resolution number R22-122.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R22-122. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 14D, resolution number R22-123, approving the agreement between the owner and engineer for professional services with JEO Consulting Group Incorporated in the amount of $249,500 for the Columbus Flood Mitigation and Resiliency Study in accordance with the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities Grant.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of resolution number R22-123.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution number R22-123. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to ordinances on their first reading.
Item 15A, ordinance number 22-27, amending the city code to correct the statutory reference for definition of a commons area in the entertainment districts.
Mr. Mayor, move that the rules be suspended and ordinance number 22-27 be read by number only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 22-27.
Suspend.
To suspend the rules. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Ordinance number 22-27.
Mr. Mayor, move for the adoption of ordinance number 22-27. Second.
Have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 22-27. Any discussion? I would add, this is being done to clarify.
This is just a cleanup of our ordinance because it referenced, some numbers got transposed when referencing state statute.
Okay, so it's a housekeeping?
Yep.
All right, appreciate it. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Ordinance is on their second reading.
Item 16A, ordinance number 22-25, amending the city code to allow and regulate the use of golf cart vehicles on public right-of-ways.
This is a second reading, so there's no vote. Any comments? All right, we'll move on.
John has-
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
I've been struggling with this, and I'll tell you what the struggle is. First of all, I think that it is not very safe, even with the roll bar and everything else that goes with it. But then I climb on my bicycle and go downtown and ride downtown on my bicycle, which has nothing as far as protecting me. And so it's a struggle. It really is. I don't know what else you could put on a golf cart to make it safe, but certainly it's just something that we need to think very carefully, because I kind of think it's an accident waiting to happen.
I agree.
I've got the same problem. I'm not too sure I could go along with a golf cart on the street. You know, we don't have a designated area for golf carts to run, and they're smaller than some of the other vehicles that are on there.
We do scooters, we do bicycles, we do pedestrians, we do skateboards. Come on, guys. Enough said.
Well, I think the concern is valid. Obviously, when the vote comes to the third reading, you all have your ability to vote yea or nay. and I think that's what it can come down to. We've looked at it and tried to get the input from the citizens that wanted it. Looked at some options to try to make it at least line up with the UTV rules that we have had in place now for 3 or 4 years, 4 or 5 years.
Longer than that.
Maybe
It was
longer.
before me, yeah, before I got here, so.
Was it?
Oh, wow. So that'd be before before Vasacek, huh? Before TV, okay. Well, you know.
I just knew they were in effect before I got here.
Point being that, we have tried to mirror that, at least that part of it. I think the other thing that I've always looked at in these, I know we don't do it much, but you can rescind ordinances as well as bring them into effect. So if we believe there's something that's not good down the road, we can bring it up for discussion. So.
But in response to that, Mayor, I mean, where I live right down the avenue is right across the street from where they sell the off-road stuff. And I see people that cross that with their ATVs, but they don't have the yellow tags. So how do you report it? And if you can't report it, then we have documentation that the ordinances are being broken. And so when we have that, we don't have that documentation, then it comes across looking like, oh, we don't have a problem. So why would you rescind it? And so, just in that regard, I'm wrestling with John too, and I guess you're right, a bicycle isn't, but people are used to seeing bicyclists. That's kind of a familiar thing, and there's a difference between getting on a bicycle and getting behind something that's a powered engine with a steering wheel and a flag on the back and all that stuff. So I'm just saying, I'm just wrestling with the same idea. It's like, how much more extra stuff are we gonna put in the street?
I don't know.
Next thing would be electric wheelchairs.
Get your yellow tag on it, right?
I know they're there, I know.
I agree with John. I think we're opening a can of worms on this one.
Well, we will have, an opportunity on the next council meeting.
All right.
All right, we will move on to ordinances on their third reading.
Item 17A, ordinance number 22-19, amending city code by enacting chapter 115 of title 11 to impose an occupation tax on lodging.
Mr. Mayor, I move ordinance number 22-19 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 22-19. Any discussion?
Have we received any feedback from?
I have not had one person contact me. Janelle, have you gotten anything in the clerk's office?
Nothing in our office.
What would be the timeline? When would this start?
December 1 is the effective date. Now that it's passed, we'll compile a letter and, frequently asked questions. We'll update the website, create a remittance form, all those things, and get that out to all the affected businesses.
All right. Any other questions or comments? None. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes, and with that, meeting adjourned.